it really is. You have to fake these people. I mean, like I made the joke that they said that Paradise was coming to an end and end and end and end. And they're talking about it like it's some kind of biblical ending, like end of days. But let's think about this for a second, guys. For these people, it basically is the end of days. If there's one thing that is like the apocalypse or like the end of days for a reality TV star, it's going back home and having to live an actual life.
Normal life.
So it's got to be pretty shocking to be like they probably like poor Kenny. Like I'm pretty sure they lied to Kenny and told him that he was going to be there for good. And then they're like, it's over today. He's like, what?
Kenny, you need to put your clothes back on and go on the plane.
What? I thought you said this was a 40 and over retirement community. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Let's go.
And this week, joined by our friend and co-host of the Yardback Sports Podcast, Waleed.
Hi, guys.
Waleed, thanks for joining us, bud.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
A little background, Waleed has been a friend of mine. We actually went to high school together. And then actually during COVID, like a lot of us did, especially in the podcasting world, reconnected. Mainly over things like pop culture and stuff. But like I said, that was a different multiverse. And this variant, we only worry about our reality TV right now. But thankfully, Waleed loves reality TV too. So we're really excited that we are here. And it's a really good episode for you to premiere on, bud, because we've reached the finale of Paradise. If you were to actually watch this episode, they mentioned the end. So I think it's proper, guys. This episode, which is episode 10 of the Reality Guys, the end of Paradise. Guys, we made a little joke in the pre-show, but the only way I could describe this for any guys or even anybody who has any kind of mythological knowledge is this was basically Ragnarok. It was the book of Revelations. All of these people were scared to death about the end of Paradise. So, Waleed, I just want to get your kind of impressions of the overall tone of the finale.
I mean, yeah, it was just amazing. I was telling you this before. I was like, it's just amazing. I think I was like wondering like how many times they kept saying the end, how many times they kept saying Paradise throughout the entire season. Really, it's like if they're going to be on this show, they have to say these words. If they're going to be on it, just for advertising, marketing purposes, they have to say these words. It's just like, and being the finale and everything. It was pretty crazy being 3 hours long, and it was just like full of endings and breakups, and they happened instantly. These breakups, like they were so quick. It was amazing to me. I was just like, wow, they were together for a few weeks, these people, and then just like ending it. Like, I think it was the Abigail and Noah breakup that kind of just like gave everyone the reality check. Like, oh yeah, now it's getting real. We're either gonna see each other outside of this, or just end it right now. And it's just like you see girls getting their hearts broken, a couple guys got their hearts broken. It was just a mix of everything. So it's pretty wild how it happened. But I mean,
Brian, what did you think just overall feel for the end of Paradise here?
Like piggybacking off what Waleed just said, like there was a lot of people who were just like super okay with the outcome. Like the one that really made me laugh was James and Anna. Anna was like, I really hope that James and I can move forward. And James is like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work. And then Aaron goes off of that, and he just goes to Tia, and he's like, hey, I'm leaving. I'll talk to you later. Like, not even.
Deuces.
Like, yeah, peace. That's the like, if you had to say one was like the quickest, it was that one. Like, hey, got to go. My ride's leaving.
Like
that literally was my ride's leaving. I have to leave the party. See you. I was talking to you guys pre-show. I affectionately called all of these goodbyes Irish goodbyes. There's a lot of Irish goodbyes in this episode. You guys mentioned a lot of the notable ones after the breakups, and we'll get to the actual breakups. But I noticed that just in the season in general, and like sans the last 2 weeks where we had 3-hour episodes that could have been normal 2-hour episodes, the efficiency of Paradise is unparalleled. They get shit done. They cycle people in and out. They do their breakups quick. Cliffhangers really don't last more than like 10 minutes into an episode. They get shit done. So overall, for my first experience in Paradise, I liked it. A little anticlimactic. I think we all kind of saw the writing on the wall. Yeah, I'd say 2-3 weeks ago about who would end up ultimately getting engaged. Now, maybe who we thought decided to leave together, maybe instead not get engaged, but not break up. There were some surprises, and I think we're going to just dive into that. So Waleed kind of let us in a little bit. We talked about Abigail and Noah. The tone at the end of last week, Noah said, hey, look, which again was weird. The day after he told her that he loved her, he said, I don't think this is going to work, or we're not each other's people. She's a little shook. They break up. But again, what the thing is so fucking wild on the show is the second you break up, it's like watching Squid Games. You're out. Like, you're done. Nope. Oh, you're out. You gave up on love. Bye. See ya. Out of paradise. Did you guys think Noah and Abigail were going to break up?
Yeah. Didn't I say that last week? I didn't think anyone was staying together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I shot like 70%, 60%.
You did pretty good on your guesses. Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot easier to say like no one will stay together than picking and choosing. But yeah, I mean, but we kind of cheated because we saw like what happened in the last episode. But yeah, I guess, do we want to save the like end credit scenes, like who's still together, who's not till the end? Or
yeah,
do we want to bury them all now?
No, let's just address them as we go, because there's not a ton of chronological stuff here. Go ahead, Brian. You've teased it, so you should reveal
it. Yeah, so
I
mean, and then it said, which to me this makes sense. Like, you said, Bill, that they can either get married, break up, or they can leave together.
There are four. Actually, Brian, if you watch the extended edition of this episode, there are 4 options at the end. You can leave engaged, you can leave together, you can break up, or you could do the physical challenge.
Oh, okay, physical challenge.
Yeah, physical challenge, exactly.
So yeah, like to me, it makes sense that you would. Why didn't Abigail and Noah be like, hey, we're not ready to get married, but let's just see how this works out. I want to be with you. Let's see how it works out when we get home, instead of breaking up for TV. And then now they're like supposedly back together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even though wasn't something going on with her, like with another guy, like we were texting.
The rumors are that Abigail hooked up with Dale Moss, who left with Claire during Claire's season. That was the Claire and Taisha season. They haven't come out and denied it. So I'm thinking that it's the truth. Like I'm assuming they hung out one of their like crew hangouts in New York, and there might've been a hookup and stuff like that. But that being said, we don't know how, they were very notable on what they said about Noah and Abigail. It said that they're hanging out. Okay. Like theirs wasn't like, we'll just get to it. Like the same kind of thing happened with Thomas and
Becca.
Becca kind of dropped a bomb on Thomas. I did not see that coming. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because it's how my mind works now watching this show. This was kind of my timeline of my thoughts as it progressed. Thomas and Becca talk. She breaks it off. All in caps. She didn't think he's real enough. He's not human enough. He's going to be. Then I went, all good though. Now he's definitely going to be the future bachelor because he looks sweet. And then I went, oh shit, post-credit scene. Now they're back together again and super in love and have a dog.
I had a feeling that was going to happen too. I mean, when you saw her like leaving and then crying in the car saying, no, I was like, I don't know. Something tells me she's going to give him another chance. Maybe she feels like she made a mistake.
I think she made a mistake. Thomas was the most misunderstood character in all of the Bachelor that we've watched so far.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't watch the last season of The Bachelor at Katie's season, so that's where Thomas made his debut. Mm-hmm. I didn't know his whole history and everything, but I knew when he came into Paradise, all the guys, like not all the guys, but like Aaron and what was the other guy's name?
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, Trey. Trey didn't like him. Aaron,
like him. They spoke of him like he was a demon, and I was like, I don't know. Let me see what this guy's. And I used to watch like the older seasons of The Bachelor and Bachelorette, like from like 20 years ago, because my older sister was always a fan from like the start of the franchise, like 20 years ago. And I've seen some characters come through this franchise, and I was watching him on Paradise. I was like, he doesn't seem that bad. I was like thinking the whole time, like, I think it's a little overblown. How that person is.
They witch hunt him out on last season, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's always one guy that becomes the target of the guys, and that's become especially the trend in like the last 3 or 4 seasons, especially. It kind of coincides with some of the trends you even see in Survivor. People kind of taking, I like to call it reality TV white knighting, where these guys decide that they want to be, they know how they're going to come off. So these guys going into their interview saying that they want the whole gist with Thomas was Thomas just admitted that he didn't know if he'd find love going on The Bachelorette, but you never know. Maybe like I could end up being the Bachelor. Like he just admitted to it. And they all white knighted for Katie and said, you're not here for love. You're not here for the right reasons. Just all the same kind of shit you've seen continue this season when we saw the stuff about, oh, you knew we were dating the Brendan and Piper stuff or this or that. There's always now that element where they try to pull in them coming off as really good people because the whole trend right now in the world is really shitty people getting exposed. So they try to ride that wave, but it comes off very artificial,
Oh, yeah.
That's how I feel.
I don't think he's that bad of a dude. Like,
I think he's cool.
He's been saying this for a couple episodes now. Like, he just got a bad rap, and I just think every episode he looks like a normal ass dude.
I mean, Aaron is the Fessy of this.
Yeah. He complains about everybody. I mean, it seems like it. Even like at the end when he was like arguing with Ivan over talking to Chelsea the last couple episodes, I was like, man, it seems like he's just sensitive over everything. I mean, like every guy that tries to like even talk to his girl or what the girl that he's talking to or whatnot, he just takes it offensive way beyond measure.
Yeah. Can you imagine like talking to him if he was drunk? Like he must be like insufferable. Bro, I saw you talking to Chelsea, man. Like, all right, dude. It's the point of the show.
Right. And Waleed, this is a special treat. Now, I need to come to a town hall meeting here for the reality guys. If you've, Waleed, you'll know too. And Brian and Kevin obviously know, I've established some golden rules for the Bachelor franchise, things that you shouldn't break. So one of them is no motorsports or driving dates. One of them is no food, spa dates or eating off each other dates. And the third one so far is no black magic. So I do want to propose, or at least put it out to the group to see if we have a fourth rule that should be a permanent rule or not. And we've talked about it a lot, but I think it's time to do it. Wells, I think, may have broken a reality guy's golden rule of the Bachelor franchise. You know what Wells did this episode?
I don't. What did he do? I don't remember.
He canceled the cocktail party.
Oh, yeah. Good
that was like right at the beginning.
So, I mean, we've talked about that a lot. I mean, that's a cardinal rule, right? No canceling the cocktail party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we call that the Matt James rule?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So everyone in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Kevin's like, aye.
Kevin, I guaranteed if you did a watch thing of Kevin when he watched it, he'd be like, no, that's not good enough. Or I'll actually love that. I think Kevin would like that rule. So
he would too.
It's I wish I had here. Well, I don't have a gavel, but I do have Thanos. So say we all. It's a new rule.
Squeeze it in.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I completely forgot. Like you said, like that was something that they could have definitely done because there's so much time in this episode.
There was a cheap, like you said, even though I don't really love Anna, if she was right, she's never going to get to meet James because they didn't get to do a thing together. It's kind of hooked up. No, it's weird. I don't feel bad for Anna. Anna did go on this whole spiel about how nothing's been going right for her. But here's the reality, guys. We do never forget. And she did accuse a woman of being a prostitute live on television to a T with no basis at all. So I know you shouldn't be canceled forever. You are a C-level reality star at best, but did anyone feel bad for her?
No,
not necessarily. No, to be honest with you. Wasn't really her biggest fan from the get-go, to be honest, but
no.
We were big James fans, so if James wasn't feeling it,
yeah.
I mean, he lives in San Diego, she lives in Chicago, and him and Aaron are literally just probably broing out every single night in Pacific Beach right now.
I don't even feel like he gave good reasons. It's not like he's just like, yeah, I don't want to be with you. He's like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. Like, thought about it. I've been thinking about it all day, and she's just like,
I feel blindsided. She said,
yeah.
I mean, she's like, I feel a little bit let on. It's like that you went on one date with him,
Yeah, you were here for
on one date with him. He didn't lead you on at all. And if he was leading you on, then he would tell you, let's keep doing this, even though I'm not feeling it. That's leading you on. He told you the truth, right?
Right.
I don't know.
No surprises. They did have a mid episode, a pretty early episode rose ceremony. All the normal groups stayed together. The two women unfortunately sent home, Chelsea and Natasha. All good. They kind of were floating throughout. Natasha was involved. Natasha gained an extra life really at the end there when Wells let her stay, when she had obviously already lost the partners due to kind of the trading off and things that had happened. Nothing really else of note there other than it is the last rose ceremony, even though we've already talked about how like the next day they basically had a culling and half the thing people broke up and stuff. So we will touch on it. I think the budget problems I was making jokes about last week. There's no budget left in Paradise. That could have been a reason for them canceling the cocktail party, and also for the reason that they brought in the worst co-hosts of the entire season. Not even these Dean and Kaylin.
Oh yeah,
like they were reading off a letter.
Yeah.
It is the last week of Paradise, so you know what that means, guys. It's really time for you to get into your relationships. I'm really lucky that she gave me an opportunity when I didn't think I deserved one, and now we found love. I really hope you find love like us. Can't you hear it in my voice how much in love I am and how much I love this beach?
Yeah, that was lame.
Bro.
It didn't feel real at all.
So dumb.
Oh my God. I mean, really, like you started with we had Lil Jon at one point this season.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you just let Wells finish? He's still there. He's still right there at the bar.
What if they brought in like Chris Harrison as the guest?
Oh my God.
Don't tease me, bro. It's done. He's also going to another multiverse.
He just has he has a mask on of like Wells, but it's actually him.
He's a scroll. So yeah, so we obviously are now that all the dating is over. They give them the option that they can do fantasy suites if they'd like to have one more night in Paradise. I don't even understand the premise why anyone would say no in general.
Right. Yeah.
Really dumb. They must tell the people like, yo, you're done. Like you guys aren't together. We know you're done. We're not putting you guys just need to do a funny breakup scene or do a breakup scene and whatever. Yeah. So the really quick, go ahead.
They have they have a budget of how many people can go in the honeymoon suite. Then they have a budget of how many people they're going to buy rings for. So like you can only there's like a
three
pyramid of
You ever seen the intro to Lord of the Rings? It's like, and three were given to the bachelors for Paradise purposes.
Yeah.
Just 3.
Yeah, that's it.
two were given to Aaron and James, who above all else desire power. They just want to leave together.
They gave it to each other and they left.
Exactly.
And 7 to the Dwarf Lords. Wait, what? That's next season in Paradise.
Touch on Ed's breakup with McKenna. That was probably the most funny, entertaining one.
Oh, was it Luke?
What?
Ed, was that his name? They're all bro names. Ed, Luke.
Ed with McKenna, when he tried to convince him.
That was probably too relatable to too many of us in some ways, where he's like, no, really, let me get your number. I'd love to chill again, outside this party. And it's like, no, it's cool. I'm sure I'll see you around somewhere. And he's like, no, I would hate to let this opportunity go, and not let us do this and hit each other up after. And she's like,
yeah. I thought that was one of the more entertaining parts. I was just like, oh,
it was real, dude. It was real. Really him getting shut down.
It's like, you need a rope. You're drowning here. And then at the end, he was a good sport afterwards. Like, hey, guys, I got dumped.
Yeah.
Brian, what did you think of that breakup?
It just reminds, you were making college jokes there. It reminds me of college. It's like, hey, can I get your number? You're not in this frat. Nah, I'm not talking to you. Or a guy with a girl is like, nah, I'm not talking to you. It's stiff, a complete stiff arm.
Yep. A complete stiff arm. Oh, God, it was bad. I'm thinking about it now. Poor guy. The only one that got a worse breakup or ditching may have been Connor B earlier in the season with Marissa. Because now looking at the end here, Marissa being engaged, how funny is it that Connor B thought he had a claim on her?
What a difference of humans that you're attracted to.
Connor, yeah, they are. Connor B and Riley.
It's like a pussycat and a lion.
Let's also, I'm just gonna name it now. My MVP of the entire season, contestant-wise, of Paradise is gonna go to Marissa. Remember, she is the girl from She's All That. In the beginning of the season, she had said when she got asked on her first one-on-one that she had never been on a date in her life.
Yeah.
And now she's married or engaged. What?
Yeah. They're still together apparently in the future.
Yeah, girl, hustle up. Way to go. Really appreciate it.
Write a book.
It was good. I was happy about
dude.
that.
I think he's good. You're gonna be protected. He seems to got a sensitive side. Remember how disappointed he was last week in his boy?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he was so hurt by Ivan.
Oh yeah.
Like,
dude,
and
bro.
that bleep. I just want to know what he said because it was just like a 7-second bleep. Like, what did he say? That's worse than Kevin bleeps.
Yeah, let's just like have an honorary poor Kevin bleep out for the fans. But yeah, so after all this kind of stuff, we did like we had the Irish goodbyes, like I said. So we mentioned the like you said, the McKenna one with him. That was goofy. Thomas and Becca, we mentioned, big shocker. I mean, again, some of these women, like, and I'm not just saying just women, but it seems like a couple of the women on this season where they're like, this guy's so Marissa, like she had done this with Riley early this season. Yeah. He's such a great guy. I really love everything about him, but he's just not being human enough and he's not being vulnerable enough. But I really think he's great besides that. And like everything's great. And then you dump the guy. Yeah. Did anyone else think that there was going to be a dramatic like speed chase where like her car maybe cut his car off? They did a lot of long arching shots of the vans. And I'm like, yo, she's going to be like, cut his ass off like Speed. And she's going to be like, don't go.
Like they met at the airport terminal or something.
They literally have a dog. They're so in love already.
It's like having a kid, man. Yeah. They're
like Thomas, Aaron, kick rocks. Trey, kick rocks. Who else needs to kick rocks? I don't think James thought he was that bad.
I love James.
James was one of the better.
Toss a rock.
Yeah, he was good.
But I think everyone else, was good. I don't think we really had any other problems.
You talking about Grocery Store Joe?
No, we'll get there. Oh, we'll get there. G.I. Joe. We will get the G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
So we haven't got to the loving ones yet. Kenny and Maury. We're not going to spend too much time on Kenny and Maury. Yeah. Kenny is just so funny because he's just so self-aware of how old he is.
Yeah.
And he's like, Maury, you're 25 and hot. Are you really sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm straight, fam.
He's like, I've done a lot in my life that you still have yet to do. Are you really sure?
Kenny loves to mention how much he fucks. It's basically what he's saying. He's like, I've had a lot of partners.
Yeah. I mean, the guy
nobody thought this would happen.
I mean, the guy who came into the season butt-ass naked on the beach in front of everybody ended up being one of the more emotionally mature guys in the entire show, though. So it was kind of like, hey, he knew how to play the game and everything. He knew that he was like, hey, this is a
geriatric.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he controlled the narrative of that entire relationship, though. Like,
he did. Yeah, I mean, he did. He gaslit her a little bit. She believed it. Then he revenge fucked.
He got two bodies.
Yeah, he revenge fucked, and then she was like, "It's cool."
Yeah,
I mean, that's some finessing there. We all need to go back maybe in a few years after a few seasons of Paradise and go back on Kenny's masterclass that he pulled, or we literally may see Kenny next season.
Yeah, when she said she wanted to date other people, he knew exactly how she was going to feel once he actually started making out with another girl in front of her. Right. He's like, "It's going to happen. It's going to happen."
Yeah.
Joe and Serena, grocery store Joe and Serena, G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
A real American hero, really a real Paradise hero.
Another big age gap couple here. I mean, I think he's like
35 to 23.
Yeah, so not quite like Maury and Kenny, but close.
They seem sweet. I'm not really here to rain on anything with Joe's parade.
Yeah.
Kendall showing up was really fucking awkward.
Dude, you thought it was awesome or
awkward?
Oh, it was so dumb.
They didn't even need to include that. I was like,
that should have been cut
a little bit more. And it was just like basically her just giving him like best wishes, basically.
What it really does, boys, is it shows how much time actually passes on the show. She's probably been gone for 3 days.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like hours.
Yeah.
It's the same day. The storm, the finale.
The whole show is filmed in
Paradise. She never left Paradise.
They actually shoot Paradise like they shoot a TV show or a movie. They don't shoot it in order.
Yeah, that's funny. Yo, Serena says something funny. She's like, "I'm ready to be a grocer's wife." That was funny.
That was pretty good.
He's like, I'm not a grocer anymore, right? He hasn't been a grocer apparently in a while. Like that was.
I'm just a manager of a supermarket now, not a grocer.
I'm a fucking district manager now, bitch. Like, beat it. James and Aaron was weird. It's funny enough, but like whatever.
Yeah.
The host again stunk. Oh, this is a funny moment I forgot from the proposals. What can we talk about Marissa's sweat?
Yeah, no, they looked like they got somebody like threw a bucket of water on both of them. Man, they were glistening.
They just like they did her dirty, and then he kind of did her dirty during the proposal. I thought was really funny. So I quoted, he had, I really need to make sure that I'm sure. And then he pauses and just like considers her. Like he just looks at her like he's like literally in that moment going,
He like took a step back too.
He goes, long pause.
Mm-hmm.
Then just drops to the knee, and she just gets so upset. Like she's happy, but she's like, "Fuck you, dude! Seriously!" Like
it's like second time he did it to her.
Overall thoughts on the season, guys. I loved my first season in Paradise. Like I said, my MVP was Marissa. My favorite character was G.I. Joe, though.
Yeah.
Ryan, how about you?
I have to agree. Like the heroism of G.I. Joe was just perfect. Like that picture that we
is everything
on the internet is everything. Isn't great. I guess we're not getting a reunion.
It doesn't look like you get a reunion in Paradise. The only person that gets a reunion in Paradise is Wells because he never gets to leave.
Bill, there's old ones like Presley's watching them right now. They have reunions like every episode at the end.
That's such bullshit, man.
No, it looks like really cool because they're booing people. She said like the guy, these guests that came on. She was like,
oh they were doing it live.
Yeah, they were like, that guy was on one of the seasons and he sucked. He got booed at the reunion. I was like, oh man, I can't wait for the reunion. And they're
fuck. All right, well then next year, next Paradise. I just think this is the very end. Even Michelle Williams' season, which starts next week, which we will obviously cover here on the Reality Guys. We're also going to do a preview special for the season, like we've done with Survivor and we did with The Bachelorette. Those are some of my favorite episodes.
Those are the best.
Where we just blind Waleed. You're obviously more than welcome. You've seen we go and we blind pick contestants based off of their pictures and their Instagrams, and we decide who's going to win said reality show based off of that.
Yeah, it's fun.
So there's no prep work. I pull the screen up and stuff. You don't even have to be prepped for it.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's all instant.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll do it. We just have to do it before next Tuesday. So maybe we'll do it like on the weekend here. We'll get it to you guys for the weekend so you can have it for Tuesday morning or Monday morning the day before. Waleed, your thoughts on Paradise?
My thoughts on Paradise. This was actually my first full season of Paradise too. There was another season a couple seasons ago that I watched like a couple episodes, but I didn't watch it in full. This I actually had to catch up to you guys. I just binged it a few weeks ago just to catch up to you guys and get ready for this finale. So overall I thought it was entertaining. As far as like the whole layout of it and how they do things. I was kind of getting bored with the whole concept of Bachelor and Bachelorette. So many seasons of that over the years. So Paradise is kind of fresh, but at the same time, I think there's things they could do a little bit better because really, if you look at the couples that ended up together at the end, were all couples that were there from day one together.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, all the easy breakups in that last episode were just,
leftovers
that just got to know each other literally 2 days ago. So I think the showrunners need to do something about that a little bit to kind of like
physical challenge.
Yeah, there should be a cutoff episode of when people can come in. Like, how are you going to build a relationship in 2 days?
Yeah,
I think they need to cut it off maybe two weeks earlier.
Like at least two before.
You cut off people coming in, you can still continue to do eliminations and trade-offs and stuff like that, but give them time to actually intermingle and date. I think you're right. If you give them a solid 3-4 week span where there's no one else coming in, that's where you see the drama in things like this is very much akin to Love Island, except on Love Island, they're there for months. So that becomes a very natural thing where people are literally coming in every week. It is a full week before someone else comes in. So they do get a lot of time to interact and to actually build up and to start, frankly, getting sick of each other. So in that tone, we do love here on the Reality Guys, but I do need to ask on our way out this episode, which one of so there were 6 people who are now engaged. Who is the most likely to return to Paradise next year?
Of the engaged couples, you mean?
Any one person of the engaged couples.
Mm. Oh. That's a tough one.
Am I going?
Whoever.
Kenny.
It's
100%.
a pretty easy answer.
Yeah,
He would definitely been the odds-on favorite.
I don't think.
What about you, Wal?
Honestly, maybe Joe. I'll take a swing at this. Maybe Joe.
Oh, wow.
Joe's going
The trilogy.
I'll go Joe going for a trilogy. It's like it's not going to work.
Damn.
I actually would like that because you get more G.I. Joe references. I would love it.
Kenny would be too easy. I'll go with like the odds on Joe coming back are probably really.
I would go if. Man, that's tough. If I'm not taking the easy answer of Kenny, and I don't want either of this to happen, but if Joe and them were to break up, I could see Serena P coming back. Yeah. I don't think they're going to break up though. So I'm going to go with Riley.
Okay.
I think maybe it won't work out. I kind of have made the jokes that she hasn't had a lot of those relationships. So let's see with time how that works. I wish all of them that they all work out.
Yeah.
It's just the odds aren't in their favor. I think Joe and them will work out. Joe is literally a hero, so he'll be okay. And he's not going back to the island again.
About to tap into his 401k.
It's wishful thinking. Imagine we see Joe again. My God, he'll be like
got a walker.
I would want him to host.
Maybe like
Wells. So overall, guys, we enjoyed this. We mentioned coming up this week, we will have Survivor. We will be recording Survivor tomorrow. You'll have that out the next day. We will be doing a preview. We will do Back to the Challenge. We will be back to the challenge. We will be also doing a preview of The Bachelorette. And then obviously next week on Tuesday night is the premiere of The Bachelorette with Michelle Williams, who was, like we said, from Matt James' season. Looks like from the trailer, it's going to be a pretty good season. We always love the intros. I want to thank Waleed, obviously. Check him out. We're going to let him do a little plug, but actually, go ahead. Talk about what other kind of podcasting stuff you just started doing again.
Yeah. So I just got recently into, just creating content on podcasts and everything recently with another friend of mine from high school that I reconnected with, during the pandemic, just like I reconnected with you, Bill. We just recorded our second episode on Yardback Sports. Check out Yardback Sports on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We just recorded our second episode yesterday, actually, and it went really smooth as well. And Sean's cousin, Connor, also, he took a hiatus from Yardback. He came back in and made his premiere yesterday as well. So the 3 of us yesterday recorded an episode. It's really good. Go check it out, Yardback Sports. We're doing weekly episodes every Tuesday, hopefully releasing them by the end of the week. So
good. Yeah, guys, definitely check them out. And it's really cool. This year's been really cool with meeting a lot of people that are either longtime content creators or people that are getting inspired by each other to take the leap and have some fun and stay connected. So looking forward to our show, interacting with their show. I know Kevin's a big sports guy, betting guy. He'll definitely jump in and vice versa. We'll love to have some of the other guys on some of this. But until next time, tomorrow, Survivor. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having me, guys. Bye-bye.